Blessings, yo. Careful of the deflectors. You know, the ones that, hey, yo, these are the shallow teardroppers. You know, the ones that sit on the sidewalk and hope motherfuckers drown in their tears. You know, the ones that truly will cry at a drop of a dime. You know, the ones that all of a sudden just, you know, their grandmama passed away at that very second that you said congratulations to yourself because you just, you know, you just remember something happy and they just wanted to erase that happiness and put they, you know, a funeral in your head. You know, it's that one. They just gotta cut off the fucking happy because, you know, why the fuck you happy? Why you smiling and shit? What the fuck you gotta laugh about? Don't you know the fucking world is ending tomorrow in 5.5 hours and shit? Why aren't you stressed out? Yeah, it's like the one that, you know, you could be telling your life story and shit, and you sit up there the trials and your tribulations, and a motherfucker all of a sudden have an emergency where, you know, the whole fucking world gotta stop at what they doing just to cater to their toe, you know, because they got up too fast when you was talking, and they needed that interruption to everybody look at them, so they tripped and fell and they broke their toe. So now they need everybody to tend to their toe, you know. So everybody forgot about what the hell you was going through and what you was saying. You was all, everybody was in tune, but you know, they needed that attention. You know, they needed that validation that they were feeling bad too. You know, even though they created that chaos, you know, they created that whole motion for them to fall and hurt their toe. You know, now they need somebody to not just help them up. You know, now they need somebody to ride them to the ambulance. Ride them to the ambulance, for the ambulance to take them to the hospital, for everybody to come in and, you know, make sure that somebody's making sure that their toe is good, and, you know, make sure that somebody's gonna make sure that, you know, that the patient is well and got all their shit in order. You know, taking everybody out of their own position to put them in position to the chaos that they created. You know, to deflect from the fact that you're telling your story, and, you know, their story is just not, you know, something that they, whoa, it's not even a story, yo. It's just something that they needed to fucking create to make a story, because your story is just yours, you know. It ain't fucking capturing motherfuckers, so they needed that chaos, you know. But at the end of the day, your story is the same as their story, but they just don't want to tell it, you know, because maybe it got holes in it, you know. And when you talking, they always gotta project something in it, you know. It's that lack of taking accountability, because maybe they are the villain in your story. And in order for them to deflect from that version of them, they got to create themselves as the victim, because you are the victim in your story. You know, when it comes to the chaos creator, pay mind to the one that does create the chaos, because of the fact that they are chaotic in mind, right? But at the same time, because you walked away from the chaos, they want to create that chaos around you to take that attention away from you. But when you put that focus on yourself, they want to try their best to take that away from you too. You got to go tend to their toe too. No, the most I got you. Have a good one. Bye.